Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I do want to speak about the controversial calls that did happen in this game. I think that is very important for us to understand like what happened in those plays, and I want to have your guys' opinions. So what we're going to be doing in this video is talk about the controversial calls, but I also mainly want to uplift everybody here because I know that this loss does feel a little salty. It's not supposed to feel, we're not supposed to be in this predicament, because if we were to really question who is the best performing, entertaining team and high goal scoring team in the world, it is FC Barcelona. Hence the reason why I'm not out here saying that FC Barcelona have so much to improve on. They have to get better in the attack. No, this team under Hansi Flick has been amazing all season long. We're not perfect, of course. We have those defensive errors, those defensive mistakes that we must fix in order for us to be even more competitive. But overall, looking at all of the games in the league, in the Champions League, in the Copa del Rey, in the Spanish Super Cup, we can safely say that this is a Barcelona team that we should stand behind, right? It is very important. These players do need that, and you can just get that sense, right, that this is the beginning of something special, something new, something that it is like just starting, and we're going to be seeing this type of competitiveness. Not saying that we're going to win every trophy for the next 10 years, but we're going to be seeing this type of competitiveness for the next few years. It's going to be amazing, and we have to really look at this season and how we compare with other teams right now, because when we look at who has won the most trophies this season so far, number one, it is FC Barcelona. We're talking about comparing all the teams in the top 5 leagues in the world. FC Barcelona has the most right now at the moment that I'm recording this video. This could change, but as of right now, FC Barcelona has the most. Barcelona have a total of 2, right? 2 total trophies won, and in second place is Liverpool with a total of 1 trophy that they have won, which is the Premier League. And then you have Newcastle, who is in third place, or tied with Liverpool. They also do have 1 trophy as well. I believe that they have won the EFL Cup or something like that. But yeah, if you compare Barcelona to other teams in Europe, Barcelona is the most high performing one. We have the Spanish Super Cup and we have the Copa del Rey, and we still have the league to compete for, right? And we have to face Real Madrid on Sunday, a very difficult match. And thank God that we have just barely defeated Real Valladolid, because at that time, before the game even started, we're like, oh my God, we have to prioritize the Champions League. We have to put these players and rotate our squad against Real Valladolid. And so thank God that we have won that game, because can you imagine if we approached that game, we lost points, and then we went on to the match against Inter and we lost against them? Then we would have looked like fools, right, to losing points in the league and then getting knocked out against Inter Milan. So thank God that we have gotten those 3 points against Real Valladolid, because things could have gone a lot worse, way worse. So we got the 3 points from there. We have unfortunately been knocked out against Inter Milan in the Champions League, and now we still have a league to play for. Still 4 points above Real Madrid, and that's it, right? Even Flick stated, we're out tonight. We'll be back stronger next season. This team has earned Europe's respect. We're here to fight for titles, and that's exactly what we're aiming for. When we look in the mirror today, we can be proud of who we are. Hence the reason why I am not out here making these videos ranting about Barcelona and why we lost against Inter Milan, right? We're not doing that. I think that all of Europe knows. They secretly know, even though they're not going to say it, but they secretly know that this Barcelona team will be dominant. We will be competitive, and we'll be here in the conversations to win in all the competitions that we're in, right? We want to win, and this team also wants to win. You can just feel it through Lamine Yamal, through Pedri, through Gavi, through Frankie de Jong, through Rafinha, Lewandowski, and all these other players. And at the end of the day, right, we did not have Jules Koundé nor Alejandro Balde. I believe that we needed better backups. We needed a better bench overall, because we have seen some flaws in certain players, and that does give us certain conclusions and key points to take on for this summer of 2025. And hopefully Javier Tebas in the end can give us the blessing, as I always say, to sign players and the players that we need to give us quality depth. So the last thing that I want to say, right, because this is just a conversation about let's move forward, okay? This is going to be the last thing. I watch football, and I believe that all of you guys may agree with me, But I watch football to be entertained, to watch football that excites me, that makes me believe that, if we play like this, we'll win. I'm somebody that's like that. FC Barcelona brings me that. Okay, they bring that because they play in a way that's fair, that brings justice, and it's once again entertaining and very competitive. When you bring all of those things together, that is what makes me want to follow that team. FC Barcelona is one of those teams. When I look at a team like Real Madrid, for example, Real Madrid are not like that whatsoever. When we talk about pure football, entertainment, Real Madrid is not like that. I am just somebody that likes to watch entertaining football and at the same time be competitive and to win as many trophies as possible. FC Barcelona is one of those teams. And if you're one of those people, then FC Barcelona is your team. If you're not one of those people and you just want to see a team win trophies in whatever way, in whatever cost, trying to buy the refs, trying to change the refs before a certain final, then that can be for you. That's fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not out here trying to say that you should go for this team and this is the reason why. That is not my agenda. It has never been my agenda overall on this YouTube channel. I'm not somebody that's like that, right? You go for whoever you want to go for. If it makes you feel good, that's fine, right? Doesn't really matter to me. But to me, I want to see entertaining football first. Play with dignity, play with pride, right? Entertain the fans, entertain the world of football, and at the same time, aim to also be competitive in all competitions. Barcelona at one point in the past 5 to 6 years were not like that. We played horrendous football, bad football, lazy football that I'm just like, what is this? This is not the 2012, 2013, 2015 Barcelona team that I know. We lost that. We lost our style. But with Hansi Flick, he has brought that amazing style back into this club. Hence the reason why this is the start of something new. We only build from here. It's only going to get better in terms of entertainment. It's only going to get better in terms of competitiveness and titles. And once again, I'm very proud of this team. And that is the reason why I support FC Barcelona. If you do not like that, if you just want to go and support a team that just plays in whatever way, they just whatever about it, right? Just one long ball, goal, and that's it. That's fine. All right, that's fine. But just don't go out here onto this YouTube channel and just say, this like FC Barcelona, Real Madrid is better, Bayern is better. Like, that doesn't help anybody. It just doesn't. Barcelona is the team that has won the most trophies so far this season. We have two. Liverpool have one. Newcastle have one. I think that we're gonna be okay. And we still have a league to compete for. We're probably gonna end up in the top three. In the top three teams that have won the most trophies, which is really, really good for Hansi Flick's first season. Now, we also do have Ruud Gullit. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. He also said, I think the penalty wasn't a penalty, and the third goal for Inter Milan shouldn't have counted, but it was smart for Dumfries. Barcelona won the hearts. This is going to be a glimpse of what we're going to be talking about later in this video. He was talking about the penalty that was not supposed to be a penalty, which was Kubarsi's tackle against Lautaro, and he was also talking about Dumfries. But in the end, if you notice what he said, Barcelona won the hearts. Yes, it's true. Barcelona won the hearts of almost every European fan in the world, and just in the world in general, right? Everybody knows that FC Barcelona team, that this FC Barcelona team is the team to follow, which is why I'm so proud of these players. So now let's move on towards the controversial calls, right? And let's talk about Kubarsi's tackle. Okay, so here it is, right? We do have Pau Kubarsi's tackle on the 43rd minute. I'm not going to be like playing it fully because I'm trying to be very careful on not trying to get copyrighted or flagged because UEFA is very strict on this. But here is going to be the play, right? I'm gonna let it play. I'm gonna pause it real quick. So as you can see here, you can see that the ref is looking at the play. Kubarsi is making that tackle. Lautaro Martinez was about to shoot with his left foot. But if we look at the replay, right? Slowly there, we're gonna go very slow because once again, I just don't want to get copyrighted. Kubarsi puts his right leg forward, clearly trying to aim for the ball, not Lautaro Martinez's leg, right? Lautaro Martinez leans with his right foot, and you can see that Kubarsi is still trying to go for the ball. Lautaro Martinez, his right leg is like in the way, but clearly Kubarsi is trying to go for the ball. But then Lautaro Martinez's right foot got in the way once again, right? This is very, very important, right? Look at this. Just keeps getting replayed. Clearly trying to go for the ball here. And what's very interesting about this is that I'm not the only one that's crazy. Everybody thought that I was crazy when I was saying that this was not supposed to be a penalty, but everybody was saying like, "No, Kevin, you clearly don't know football." Like, go on my X account, and you guys will see the amount of like hate I got from my comment there. But I was saying that it's not right. But after the game was over, we got a few analyzers. One of them was this very yeah, the previous coach of Arsenal. Let me see if I can pull it up. Yeah, this is what he said about this whole play after the game was over. I'm totally against calling the kinds of penalties like the one by Kubarsi. If you slow anything down in slow motion, you can find penalties in everything. In real time, it's a great challenge, and he wins the ball. The ref did not take the correct decision. So this is a huge statement coming from Arsene Wenger, right? A huge statement from him. He was talking like this on Bein Sport. And he was saying, like, if you slow anything down, you'll find the foul, right? You'll look for what you want to look for, right? Let me repeat what he said. I'm totally against calling the kind of penalties like the one by Kubarsi, which is the one that we're talking about here. If you slow anything down in slow motion, you can find penalties in everything. In real time, it's a great challenge, and he wins the ball. The ref did not take the correct decision. We even do have our most hated ref in the world, which is Mateo Lahoz, right? Mateo Lahoz, who has claimed he was talking about Lamine Yamal's penalty, right? We're going to be talking about that in a few minutes. But there's a lot of things that happened in this game that was very controversial. He was saying clear penalty for Barcelona as the player touches Lamine Yamal twice, one outside of the box and once inside, which makes Lamine Yamal go down, right? So once again, we'll be talking about that in a few minutes, but you can see that there's been so many analyzers saying that why are there so many things going up against FC Barcelona? Why are they being so critical against Barcelona? Why are they trying to look for the foul? Why are they trying to look for the calls that are in favor of Inter Milan? It's a little strange, because to me this is a clean tackle from Kubarsi, right? It just doesn't make any sense how, if it's like a touch, right, in a very high intensity moment, it's like, okay, he touched the player right there, so that means it is a foul. That just doesn't make any sense. It's like we cannot touch these players anymore. It's like we can't defend anymore, right? So like, it's like, okay, if he touches him just by a little and he falls, that's a foul. That doesn't make any sense, right? And like, how are we supposed to defend? So that is what Arsene Wenger was talking about. He's like, I don't understand this. This was a clear tackle from Kubarsi. You can see that his intentions was also real on what he was trying to do and not trying to take down Lautaro Martinez and tackle his right leg. So it should have never been a penalty in favor of Inter Milan. So let's move on towards the next one. Here's going to be the one that when I talked about Mateo Lahoz, right? Clearly you can see, okay, and I'm going to put the play here first. And I'm going to stop it real quick before I get flagged. Here we can see the play running through, okay? Inter Milan have the ball. They're trying to get out. Barcelona's pressing, which is really good from Barcelona. You can see that Barcelona, you have Pedri there. You have, I think this is Frankie, Rafinha, Lamine Yamal. No, Frankie is here, right? Yeah, that's Frankie. I forgot who this was. But no, I think this is probably like Ferran or something. But Inter Milan have the ball. Barcelona's pressing. And then as you can see, they back pass. Lamine Yamal ends up about to win the ball. Actually, I was going to say he wins the ball, but I think that he won the ball in my opinion. But he was about to win the ball. He gets it. And right before he gets it, okay, that's when you do see this defender tackling Lamine Yamal. And everybody was saying, that is not a penalty. That is a free kick. And of course, the ref said, this is a free kick. But if we look at these pictures here, are you really going to tell me that this is not a penalty? Really? Like, really think about this. Are you really going to tell me that this is not a penalty coming from number 22, the Inter Milan midfielder? Right? That like, let's pause here for a second. Is this not a penalty? Is this not inside the box? Because if you're going to look, I put these two pictures together for a reason. Here in this picture, Endrick is being taken down, okay, against Espanyol. Do you know which one was green lighted for a penalty, it was Endrick's action here with this defender. When they saw, like, this is the penalty box right here in this corner, nowhere near inside the penalty box, he gets taken down, and what the ref said was, this is a penalty for Real Madrid. So if you're going to give Endrick a penalty here because he fell into the box, okay, if you're going to give a penalty here, why not be consistent and say this here should be a penalty? Because this is way closer into the box. Clearly, he has fouled in the box. It's right here. Here, nowhere near inside the box. Here, inside the box. This is not a penalty according to the refs. This is a penalty according to the refs. Obviously, this is La Liga and this is the Champions League, but we all know how these people like to function, how these people like to say, you know, Florentino Perez has great connections with UEFA and the people within the league. But it's a disgrace, right? So where's the consistency with these refs? Obviously, right, these refs can make mistakes, but it doesn't take that long to like really dissect, okay, what went on here? What have we learned from the past? What does this mean for today? That's it. That's all you have to do. It's like, okay, we gave Endrick a penalty here because he fell into the box. If that type of situation happens in this game between Inter Milan and Barcelona, the same theory has to apply. The same logic has to apply. But they're not doing that. What they want to do is be very strict. It's like, no. He fell right before touching the box, and so that's not a penalty. It's a free kick. Right? So it's insanity. What these people are trying to do to FC Barcelona. No wonder Hansi Flick was talking about the refs. Mateo Lajos once again stated, clear penalty for Barcelona as the player touches Lamine Yamal twice, once outside of the box, and once inside, which makes Lamine Yamal go down. This is Mateo Lajos, one of the most hated refs in the world, speaking facts, because he's like, oh my god, now that I don't work within UEFA and the league, now that I'm outside of the party, now I can speak freely about what I actually think, and this is what he thinks. There's no favoritism going on here. He's not being paid by anybody. So let's move on towards the last one. There you go, right? Martinez foul. Here we can see this is right before Inter Milan were about to equalize and take us to the extra time, right? Gerard Martin. We're gonna watch this very slowly, right? Dumfries is trying to gain the ball before he tries to make that assist to one of the players to look for the equalizer. Gerard Martin is about to receive the ball, but here's the key thing that I want us to know, right? If Dumfries was truly interested on trying to regain the ball, why is his right leg moving back and not forward? Why is it staying there? Why? And look what happens. And he hits Gerard Martin's leg. You can see Dumfries can see Gerard Martin. They're right next to each other. Why is his right leg moving back? I would understand if Dumfries was maybe a little forward and he did not see Gerard Martin coming through and coming with his left leg, and maybe, you know, maybe then yes, I would say that, you know, Gerard Martin just kicked Dumfries from behind the foot. But no. They're right next to each other. Dumfries sees Gerard Martin coming, so he moves his right foot back, not forward. If he wanted the ball, he'll move the foot forward to get the ball, but he moves it back and hits Gerard Martin. Right? That's tensional. That is tensional. That is what Dumfries wanted to do. Okay, before you guys say, no, there's a contradiction, Kevin. You were talking about like the small touches should not count, and the intentions. You have to look at the intentions of the player. There's contradictions because you were just talking about that with Kubarsi's tackle on Lautaro Martinez, right? The small touches should not count. But here, yes, it is a small touch. But why is his leg moving back? And you can clearly see that his intentions is to block Gerard Martin from touching the ball. This is a foul. There is a big intention here, and the intention coming from Dumfries is that he wants to stop Gerard Martin. He does not want to regain the ball. So this whole play at the end where Inter Milan equalized should have never happened. It should have never happened. And I want everybody to know here that I am not somebody that wants to like really just focus on these little plays here and why, like, and just talk about why it's so unfair and stuff like that. No, I like to dominate games. I want to win like that. we must analyze ourselves first. But the reason why we have to talk about this is because it's these little things that make us like get knocked out of the Champions League. And because it is these small details, these refs have to come in 100% correct. You can't just be lazy with these calls. They did not even bother looking at this call. So if you know that like these small little details during knockout rounds really do matter in terms of results and the outcome, the final outcome, why not review everything 110% over and over again to understand what went on throughout these plays? Because the VAR did not care, nor did they review this play here. They were not interested. They weren't interested at all. That's the reason why I want to talk about that, is because if they just reviewed everything and they had interest in VAR, just saw everything, things would have turned out differently. So it's insane. I'm going to be kind of concluding it here, right? Like again, once again, this is just mainly about the controversial calls, also about like us lifting up from this very dark moment. But goddamn, man, like it really is in the small details that matter for the final outcome. And once again, because it is the small details, these refs have to take massive accountability and take more responsibility about things like this, so we can get some justice, because this is extremely, like, it is unfair and nothing more. So this is also the reason why, like, I might make another video about this, right? This is also the reason why I remember back in 2022, I was talking to these people who wanted to interview me and Alex. We were outside of the Camp Nou. This is when I went to Spain, when I went to Barcelona, and they wanted to get my opinion about the Super League, the European Super League. And I clearly said that I'm pro Super League, that I want the Super League to happen. And the reason why I continue with the exact same thought and why I still want the Super League, the European Super League, whatever you want to call it, it's mainly because of one thing. I'm gonna say this now, and I'm gonna go into greater depth about this like in a later video. I honestly think that if we look at Inter Milan's performance in the past 8 months and then Barcelona's performance in the past 8 months, I will tell you that Barcelona is the better team. And I think that everybody else will tell you that Barcelona is the better team, because we have been the most consistent. We have showed up more than Inter Milan against different opponents. And because of that, I believe that Barcelona should be rewarded for being at a higher level than Inter Milan. And with a format like the Champions League, it does not bring that type of justice. These knockout rounds from the Champions League is something that I would just say is completely unfair to the teams that have done the best work through the whole season. I really don't think that just because Inter Milan defeated FC Barcelona 4-3, it does not mean that Inter Milan is the better team, comparing it to FC Barcelona this season. I really don't think that. FC Barcelona have been the most consistent, the most attracting team, right, in Europe, and they should be rewarded for that. That is the reason why I want the Super League to exist, is because I want all of these teams, Inter and Barcelona, Man City and Barcelona, Bayern and Barcelona, Chelsea Barcelona, Arsenal Barcelona, or Arsenal, you understand what I'm saying, the best teams in the world to compete in one league and to see who comes out on top, who is in first place. Because let me tell you, based off that type of format and not going through the knockout rounds, based off that type of format, the player who is the team that is the most consistent, that plays well, that can score more goals than anybody else, will be rewarded, and they will go to number one. Okay, with that type of format, FC Barcelona can go to number one because we are the most consistent. We are the ones that can get the most out of all teams. We should not depend on just one match to understand, okay, is this team better than the other one? Because right now, based off this format from the Champions League, is telling us Inter Milan is better than FC Barcelona, and they have been all season. I don't think that's true. I think that's false. Once again, I think that the Super League is something that should exist, because I would want to see Barcelona go up against Inter twice, which we did, but I also want to see Inter Milan go up against Bayern twice, or Inter Milan go up against Real Madrid twice, and then Arsenal twice, and then Chelsea twice, and then AC Milan twice, and then all these other teams twice. And then we'll truly understand who is the best team, who was the best team by the end of this Super League season. And you better bet that a team like FC Barcelona will be there in the top 3 and not Inter Milan. It's just not. Like, bro, Inter Milan right now, if we look at the, like, I'm not trying to shame Inter Milan either. I think that they're a great team and I love them. Like, I have always been following them. But Inter Milan are in second place in the Italian league, below Napoli. Where is Napoli? Where is Napoli in the Champions League? They're not in the Champions League. They're not in the quarterfinals. They're not in the semifinals. But they're above Inter Milan in the Italian league by 3 total points. So clearly, Inter Milan has not been the most consistent at all. Barcelona have been. Barcelona have 2 trophies right now because we have been consistent all season. Inter Milan, I believe that they only have 1 or something like that. I don't know if Inter Milan have won any trophies this season. I'm sure they have won 1, but really, you're gonna tell me that the conclusion that we got from this game, this Champions League game, is the fact that Inter Milan is better than FC Barcelona? But today, right now, we can say that Barcelona have 2 trophies won. Barcelona are in first place, and Inter Milan are in second place, below Napoli, and Napoli is not even in the Champions League. So this format is weird. The Champions League format. That is why, once again, the Super League makes a lot of sense to me, because I want every team to face every best team, every good team in Europe to face each other twice, to truly see who has been the most consistent over the span of 9 months. I'm gonna end it there. I want to talk about this like in a whole other separate video, like how I think this Super League should go, because I understand that, you know, some people are saying, no, but Kevin, remember that they want to have a closed league and that there should be no new teams coming into this Super League for the next 10 years or whatever. I have plans. Like, I think that the Super League is going to be open from the bottom. Like, if you're like in the bottom 5, you're going to come out, and the brand new 5 teams that have performed the best are going to come in. Like, I honestly think that the Super League can exist with being an open league. But once again, this is going to be for another conversation. I'm already going through almost 30 minutes. I'm just going to be ending it here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.